to Confident AF Live, taking your mindset next level to get next year's results today with me, your host, Brandon Foster. Are you a badass peep with big dreams, ready to turn your unrealistic goals into reality? Confident AF Live is the gateway to enormous new opportunities and unlimited possibilities. The unrealistic can suddenly become realistic for you if you believe it. Are you ready to take your dreams and results to the next level? Then stay tuned as we help crack open the door to new ways of impactful thinking and believing about yourself with mindset practices for badass people like you. Confident AF Live starts right now. What up, badasses? Welcome to Confident AF Live. Super excited to talk to you today because limitation is not the vibe. That is the title of today's episode. Limitation is not the vibe. Today, I figured I would do a really awesome, amazing, incredible, stupendous deep dive into where these limiting ideas, the BS, the silly stories, the lies, as Jim Quick says, limiting idea entertain, where do they come from? Like, why do we think these crazy, ridiculous things? Because here's the thing. Okay. Can we be so honest and just say that our mindset is the complete glass ceiling of our lives? Our mindset is the complete glass ceiling of our life and our business. Because if you don't think you can do it, you're not going to do it. If you don't feel like you're safe to receive it, you're going to not receive it. And that's what self-sabotage comes from. If you don't feel worthy of enough to have it, you are not going to feel good to have it, and you're going to repel it. So I just want to I want you all to understand this so much that your business, if you're a 5-figure business owner and you say, well, I can't possibly make 6 figures, you're never going to do the things that make 6 figures. If you tell yourself, I have a 6-figure business, I'm never going to be able to have a 7-figure business, you're never going to do the things that have a 7-figure business. If you're afraid of making 7 figures because you have financial things that you need to sort out with making 6 figures, you're not going to feel comfortable to have 7 figures in income. If you feel like it's hard to lead a big team, then you're going to be constrained to leading a small team. And the truth is, when you feel safe to have a big team and you love having a big team, you can do more things because you have more brain power at your disposal, more people, more resources, more of all the things. Do you guys see where I'm going with this? You have to understand this. So the other piece of this puzzle that is really important is that as an adult, you are a byproduct of basically 3 things that are going to impact your business and how you think. Because if you think about it, let's just go back to the amazing research of Joe Dispenza, where you realize that the human brain on average, the human being on average thinks 70,000 thoughts in a day. And that 90% of those thoughts are the same thoughts as the day before. And though terminology we use for that is called the auto program. Okay. Think about your brain is the computer. Okay. And your brain literally, your brain is what tells your body to do things, which would be like marketing in your business, sales calls in your business, new offers in your business, all the things. Like your brain is what orchestrates all of that stuff. Your brain is also meant to protect you from perceived harms. All right. So we wonder, why do we not do the stuff in our business that we know we should be doing? We feel, and when I say no, we should, I'm not saying because Aunt Sally said you should. I'm not saying it's because your significant other said you should, or people in your industry say you should. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying not doing things that your heart is like, you should really do this. because your heart is always divine guidance. Okay. And sometimes other people will say what your heart is telling you because God, the universe, is like, yeah, I'm already telling you, you're not listening. So I'm going to start telling you this from a whole bunch of other people. Where am I going with this? So as an adult, you must realize, you must understand that a lot of your paradigms, the habitual way that you think, the reason why you think 90% of the same thoughts the day before is because it has to do with childhood paradigms. Most of the paradigms that we believe in society as we get older are ones that were constructed and reinforced from the age, from basically development, teenage years, kid years, school age years, toddler years, as your brain's developing, as you experience life. Which is why, like, older generations are like, I don't understand the younger generation and why they think the way that they think. Well, because they grew up in a different time period where there is different societal beliefs, different ways of thinking, different technology, different resources. So of course they're going to think differently. Of course they're going to have different neural pathways. And the point of today, limitations not being the vibe, is I want to help you all to understand the 7 different main causes of your paradigms, like where your thinking process comes from. Now, I want to go back and I want to remind all of you that are listening and watching and all the places, feeling matters more than what you think, but how you think often determines how you feel. Knowing that, how you think really matters a great deal. And if you can identify where you picked up on these crazy ideas, these crazy thoughts, these crazy limiting beliefs that do not serve you, you can very quickly forgive them, neutralize them, choose to think differently, and feel differently about that situation, which creates an amazing changes in your life. And if we know that when we change how we think about ourselves, how we think about our business, how we think about clients and sales and marketing, and that allows us to do new things we've never done before, which allows us to get different results we've never done before. When we realize all those things, we realize that changing our thoughts, the auto program, is more important than anything else. And if we can understand where the auto program comes from, then it's a lot easier to do that, which, by the way, is why I love journaling. A lot of people don't use journaling, or if they do, they don't know what its primary purpose is. But the primary purpose of journaling is allowing yourself to write down how you're thinking, seeing how that makes you feel, and shifting and rearranging, looking for the patterns, seeing the commonalities, which is really, really powerful. So 7 places where our auto programs come from. The auto programs being those 70,000 thoughts we think a day and the same thoughts as the day before. Are you all ready for this? Number 7, the media. Okay. This is why every diet has a fad. This is why clothing has fads and hairstyles change and clothing styles change, because this media tells us what's cool and what's not cool. And the ironic thing about it is what was not cool is now cool, and what is cool is now not cool, and it changes and it comes back. And the truth is who decides what makes it cool and what makes it not cool? Well, media, celebrities, people that we admire or look up to. But the truth is, your clothing and your hairstyle has no opinion over you at all. And it has no intrinsic meaning. A shirt is valued more I should say clothing. Certain clothing is valued more based on the label that is on it. Now, I will tell you right now, I love nice things. I love things that will last a long time, that are made of high quality. And oftentimes things that are cheap fall apart. So I'm not saying that there is not a value in buying nice things. What I am saying is that the labels in and of themselves do not determine quality. Quality goes into how something is made and the longevity of it. What I want you to understand is that we pick up on these ideas, and these ideas influence our feelings of worthiness and who we are based on what media tells us is cool and what is not cool. Like Pokemon cards. I don't know why that popped into my head, but like I remember that in school, and for whatever reason, like I just wasn't something I was allowed to have. And I was very upset about it because I wanted Pokemon cards. It's okay. I had Crash Dummies instead. You guys remember Crash Dummies back in the day? Those were pretty cool. All right, number 6, society. So you might ask yourself, what's the difference between media and society? So media is what you see on the news. It's what you see in movies and television. That's what I think of when I think of the term media. I think of society when I think about political organizations and large groups of people. And, you know, today there's this huge divide on LGBTQ rights. And for me, I think the biggest opportunity when it comes to limiting beliefs is making sure that we are not making rules and laws and decisions based in fear, and we're making rules, laws, and decisions instead based on love and equality. Equality and quality of life. Equality and quality of life based in love and not in fear. So society beliefs are really important because if you think about how powerful that they are, if you just think about, it doesn't matter what side of the political spectrum you're on. It doesn't matter if you're a independent or a Republican or a Democrat. But if you just take those 3 pieces of terminology and think about the other side, right? So let's say you're a Democrat and you think about Republican. Let's say you're Republican, you think about Democrat, whatever. When you think about the other side, it's very easy to come up with all these labels of like why they're bad or why they're evil or why there's something wrong with them. And the truth is, there's good people on both sides. How do I know this? Because I love my neighbors. I love my neighbors. I love my family members. I have family members that are on the opposite side. I have people I work with that are on the opposite side. I have people that are my family that are on the opposite side of where I would have my ideological views. And people are people. But the thing is, and the danger of society is that we perpetuate stereotypes based on labels instead of looking at individuals. And so being a part of any political organization or affiliation can really create some beliefs and ideas that are just not good way for you to view other people. Like I remember I had this really amazing family member and they were like, oh my gosh, we are going to get murdered. Like, why are you going to get murdered? And I'm like, because we are older and our political affiliation is under attack and our lives are in danger. Like I'm like, you basically are just thinking based on beliefs that you've heard that every single person of the other political party wants to kill you. Like that is not a good way to live your life, and definitely not true at all. Because if you think about it, why do people vote on different sides? For a lot of different reasons. It could be economic, it could be societal, it could be religious, like a lot of different things. And it all comes back to values and what people value the most. Because whatever people value the most is what's going to dictate what side of the political spectrum they vote on. I've never said that before, and it just dawned on me and realized to me, but that's really important. So like if money and your business is the number one factor driving your values in your life, then you're going to vote based on that. If your civil liberties is your number one value in your life, you're going to vote on that. So there's a lot more that goes into all of that. That's number 2. Number 3, where do we pick up on our limiting ideas and beliefs? By the way, religion. Okay, religion is another one where you pick up your limiting ideas and beliefs. So, for example, let's just take the whole idea of if you're LGBTQ, then you want to flaunt it and you want to brainwash the children and all that stuff. And let's take the other standpoint, which is if you are faith-based, then you think all gay people are going to hell and should be smitten from the earth. We can see, based on both those ideas, that those are not true, and that those do not serve and foster a loving society, a loving community. And if you were a business owner who thought one of these was true, it doesn't matter which one, that is not going to be very helpful for you in terms of fostering great relationships with your clients. Not good, right? So, and I remember this myself, like just based on knowing different people's specific religious congregations, when my husband and I were planning our wedding, that there were certain people I didn't invite and certain people I didn't invite because I just made the horrible assumption based on what church and denomination they went to, whether or not they would approve or wouldn't approve, would come or would not come. And what happened is I realized that all of my friends loved and adored me so much, they all would have come. But because of my own closed-mindedness and my own ideas that I had, my own limiting beliefs, I just didn't invite them. And so what happens in your business is we have all these silly ideas that society and religion, everybody else teaches us that is just not helpful for your business. So like the idea that if you make a mistake in your business, that God is going to punish you. Like that would be like some religious ideas that are taught include that. And I'm like, where is grace? Like, where is the idea that faith is actually taking action, not knowing how it's going to work out and just believing in the best? Like, where is the grace? Where is the forgiveness? Where is that in your business? And the thing is just the idea in general that your loving creator would punish you when you did the best that you could and you were trying to make good decisions for your business and you didn't have all the information or you didn't know everything that you know now. It's just laughable. It's just crazy. It's just the whole thing is just crazy. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3. Number 4, friends and peers. And for business owners, this would be other people in the industry. So I have a travel agency and there's a lot of talk sometimes in the industry about wave season. I just refused to attach the idea of wave season. Like I thought it was silly the first time I heard it. And I just said, well, I will just never attach that idea or that belief. So the idea is that there is busy season and there is slow season. And I think every industry it doesn't matter what business or industry you're in, but every business or industry you have is going to have these beliefs or ideas that you can attach to or not attach to. And if you attach to the limiting idea ones, the negative ones, it will hurt your business. So if I decided to attach to wave season, then I would believe that certain months would be better for booking clients in other months for that side of that business that I own. And it's the same thing with accounting. Accounting is like, oh, busy season is up until April the 15th. So from basically January to April the 15th is really busy season. And what's ironic about that is my dad would always say, hey, we'll be able to do more fun things after busy season. But he always had a busy season. Like there was never a slow season. There was never a slow season because he'd be like, oh, I'm busy because of April the 15th. And then he was busy because of extensions. And then there was the corporate filings. And then there was another filing in October. And it was like, okay, so there really is there's always a busy season. And that's like a really beautiful thing because that means God's blessing you and you're being abundant. And that's fantastic. But you can see how what your peers and friends tell you and what other people in the industries tell you can really harm your own business, your own ideas. Like if it's hard to hire and this program doesn't work and this vendor, you can't trust them. Like any ideas or beliefs that you hear in the industry can be very disruptive if you attach to them. Number 5, your romantic partners. So those that you love will often, and we can even apply this to family members too, but those that you love, especially your romantic partners, they want to see you succeed. They want to see you be successful. And they also do not want to see you be disappointed. So one way that the people that we love try to keep us from disappointment is they try to limit our ideas or beliefs, temper the expectations so that we're not disappointed and so that we don't fail, basically. And the truth is, it's just not helpful because what you really need is you need people to support and agree with your crazy ideas and cheer you on, because that is going to provide a pathway to greater momentum and ease toward your success, even if things don't work out the first time, because you're closer than you ever have been before, because any feedback you receive, any result you receive is feedback. And even if it's not something that you're like, wow, that did not work as well as I thought it would, you get to determine what it is. I remember the story of FedEx and how, I don't remember how many packages he was trying to deliver the first time. I think it was around 10. And only 2 or 1 made it to the actual destination. But he was so excited that a couple packages actually made it because it meant he was on the right path, which is fantastic. Number 2, our own experiences. So this is something that we do to ourselves and we really shouldn't do it, but it's like you go on a sales call or you make a launch for the first time and nobody buys, or that sales call, the person goes to you or doesn't go through with the sale. And then you just you make that one person's choice be like the end all be all of how everybody in the whole entire world feels. Like, okay, so I launched the offer once, nobody bought, so it's a horrible offer and I should trash it. Or like you have one person ghost and you're like, well, now I'm terrible at sales. I have no future in sales. I'm just going to quit. It's like, no. We must not do that to ourselves. We must not create blanket beliefs based on one soul or a couple experiences in our life, because there's always good things to be harvested from every experience in our life. And the greatest momentum killer is labeling things that don't work out as you expect them to as a failure or a sign that what we're doing is wrong or that we're broken or there's something wrong with us. Not helpful. And number 7, the biggest factor of your beliefs and paradigms that will impact your business is your parents. We as adults are byproducts of childhood trauma and childhood reward, childhood trauma also being like childhood punishment. And I believe the 2 most important factors that affect our success as business that our parents teach us is, number 1, spiritually, are beliefs in co-creation, which is there a God, universe, and is there a higher power, a higher being who loves and adores me unconditionally, always ready to support me and help me in my life and my business? Because as someone who's coached hundreds upon hundreds of badass business owners and entrepreneurs, one of the biggest reasons people have fear is because they're afraid that if they get it wrong, they won't know what to do and they're SOL. And if you know that you're loved and adored and blessed by your creator, and that if you make a mistake, grace is going to fill in the gaps and you're going to be okay, and what you do is enough, it gives you this amazing permission slip to take risk, calculated risk in your business, to take your gut instincts and do things that other people would find scary, and have faith that you're going to be okay. But your parents have a huge impact on that, because if your parents have no faith and hate God, and that's what they teach you, you don't even know what that looks like. If your parents are faith-based, or said they were faith-based, I should say, but they allowed physical abuse or emotional abuse or religious trauma or whatever it is, and now you don't trust those beliefs and can't put your faith in a higher power, that can be very, very damaging as well. And number two with your parents is this idea of worthiness, because remember, you can't receive anything you don't feel like you're worthy of receiving. And there's been countless people that I've coached one-on-one where their parents either expected almost perfectionistic qualities in order to receive good things. And that is very hindering for a business owner, because perfection is not required. Perfection doesn't exist. First of all, there's always something you can improve or make better. And, procrastination is a huge reason why people suffer with procrastination, is because they want it to be perfect before they actually do something so they can tweak it or make it better. But our parents determine, in a lot of respects, what we view as our worthiness. And that's a key. You can't receive anything you don't feel like you're worthy of in life. So yeah, those are the 7 things. Limitations is not the vibe. Let's go back through these right now. 7 ways, 7 things, okay, that you need to look at and think about. Where did I get this idea that I keep thinking that is arguing against my fullest potential in my life and my business? Was it from the media? Was it from society? Was it from religion? Was it from friends and peers? Was it from a romantic partner? Was it from my own experiences and my own doing? Or was it from my parents? I love you all so much. Make sure you are subscribed to the Confident AF Live podcast so you don't miss any more additional episodes. Follow me on Instagram at Brandon R. Foster and join the community Confident AF Mindset Practices for Badass Business Owners over in Facebook land. I love you, and I hope you have an amazing day. You have been listening to Confident AF Live, taking your mindset next level to get next year's results today, with host Brandon Foster on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Listen or watch live every Wednesday, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, where I help badasses like you with big dreams learn to take their impact and results next level, turning those unrealistic goals into reality. Confident AF Live is the gateway to enormous new opportunities and unlimited possibilities. For more information, get in touch with me, Brandon, at BrandonRFoster.com.